Friends, if you want to watch super hit movie The Expendables 4 in English, then you must like this video. If you are visiting our channel for the first time, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Friends, in today's video, the movie we're going to talk about is called The Expendables 4. We will talk about what this movie is and where you can watch it. All the interesting about this movie in today's video, I am going to tell you. I am also going to give you all the information on which platform or on which. I request you friends to watch this video till the end, so let's start the video. Expendables, also known as The Expendables 4, is a 2023 American action comedy film and the fourth installment in the Expendables franchise, following The Expendables 3, 2014. The film stars an ensemble cast of largely action film actors consisting of Jason Statham, Curtis, 50 Cent Jackson, Megan Fox, Dolph Lundgren, Tony Jaa, Iko Uwais, Randy Couture, Jacob Scipio, Levi Tran, Andy Garcia, and Sylvester Stallone. It is directed by Scott Waugh from a screenplay by Kurt Wimmer, Tad Daggerhart, and Max D. Adams, based on a story by Spencer Cohen, Wimmer, and Daggerhart. Expendables was released in mainland China on September 15, 2023, and in the United States a week later, by Lionsgate. The film received negative reviews from critics with praise for Statham's performance and action sequences, but criticized its script, Stallone's limited screen time, direction, some of the new characters, and VFX. It has grossed $51 million worldwide, against a budget of $100 million, making it a box office bomb. It was nominated for 7 Golden Raspberry Awards, winning 2 for Worst Supporting Actor and Worst Supporting Actress. Plot: the Expendables are sent to Libya to prevent mercenary Suharto Ramat from stealing nuclear warheads for a mysterious terrorist named Ocelot. The team is led by Barney Ross and formed by members Lee Christmas, Toll Road, and Gunnar Jensen, with new members Easy Day and Galen. However, they are incapacitated when all of their vehicles are destroyed in the ensuing fight. When Ramat shoots their plane down, the team finds what appears to be Barney's burned corpse in the wreckage, identified solely by his ring. At Barney's memorial service, CIA operative Marsh reveals that the team will pursue Ocelot and Ramat, but without Christmas, who jeopardized the mission trying to save Barney. He is replaced by Gina, his former lover, who also brings an operative named Lash into the team. The team travels to Asia, but is secretly tracked by Christmas, who had slipped Gina a tracking device earlier. Barney's apparent death opened a sealed file which states that there is an eyewitness that could identify Ocelot. Ocelot plans to provoke World War III by letting the nuclear warheads explode in the Russian Far East, transporting them on a ship disguised as an American aircraft carrier. As the Expendables and Marsh board the ship, they are ambushed and taken hostage. Marsh is taken away to negotiate a prisoner exchange for the eyewitness. Meanwhile, Christmas travels to Thailand to recruit former expendable Decha, who has turned towards pacifism, but agrees to bring him to the ship to avenge Barney. As Christmas fights his way through the ship, Decha has a change of heart and helps him rescue the rest of the team. They launch an attack on Ramat's forces, during which Christmas fights and kills him. However, Toll has been severely stabbed and needs immediate medical care. During the prisoner exchange, Marsh kills the eyewitness and is revealed to be Ocelot, hoping to financially profit from igniting World War III. While the team leaves on Decha's boat to save Toll, Christmas stays behind to turn the ship around to avoid a global conflict. He confronts Marsh, who is killed by Barney, who surprises everyone by revealing that he faked his death, hoping to lure Ocelot out of hiding. They escape the nuclear explosion and celebrate with the team cast. See also, list of the Expendables characters. Jason Statham as Lee Christmas, the team's knife expert and second in command. 5. As Stallone was looking to pass the franchise's lead on to Statham, he did about 80% of all filming, oversaw post-production, and served as a producer. Curtis 50 Cent Jackson as Easy Day, a new member of the Expendables, and former Army Special Forces operator. Megan Fox as Gina, a CIA operator and member of the Expendables, as well as Christmas's girlfriend. 7. Dolph Lundgren as Gunnar Jensen, a volatile member of the team, undone by years of combat stress. Lundgren stated that his character has been sober for several years now and is on a philosophical soul search. 8. Tony Jaa as Decha Unai, a former member of the Expendables. Iko Uwais as Suharto Ramat, a mercenary and the secondary antagonist working with Ocelot, 7-9. Randy Couture as Toll Road, the team's demolitions expert. Jacob Scipio as Galan, a new member of the Expendables and son of former member Galgo. Originally, Antonio Banderas was slated to reprise his role as Galgo, and his dialogue and character was rewritten into that of Galan when he turned out to be unavailable. Levi Tran as Lash, a CIA operator and a new member of the Expendables. Andy Garcia as Marsh, a CIA officer who hires the Expendables for contract work. Sylvester Stallone as Barney Ross, the leader of the Expendables. Stallone confirmed that the film would be his final appearance as Barney Ross, with Statham expecting to take over the series after his departure. Due to this, his role in the film was limited. Additionally, Sheila Shaw was cast as Mandy Adele, alongside Eddie Hall as a bouncer. Production development after The Expendables 3 2014 underperformed at the box office. The future of the series was left in doubt 14, and production stalled over several years. By November 2014, it was announced that the project is being developed with intent to retain its R rating like the first two films. 15. In December 2016, Sylvester Stallone announced that the fourth installment will be the final film in the series, while a scheduled tentative release date was set for 2018. By March 2017, Stallone had left the project and the franchise due to creative differences over the script and direction for continuing the franchise. In January 2018, after vocal support from other cast members, including Arnold Schwarzenegger, Stallone announced his return to the series with a post to his social media platforms, confirming new developments on the fourth movie. By August 2020, Vertis Cine announced their involvement as a production studio on the movie, alongside Lionsgate and Millennium Films. They also revealed that Patrick Hughes will return to the series as director. 19. In November 2020, the president of Millennium Media, Jeffrey Greenstein, stated that the studio is continuing to work on The Expendables 4 after various delays within the industry worldwide due to the COVID-19 pandemic. In August 2021, The Hollywood Reporter reported that Scott Waugh would be directing the film, replacing Hughes, as well as Statham serving as a producer of the film, 5, while Stallone confirmed his involvement with the project, and that The Expendables 4 was the same project as The Expendables: A Christmas Story, previously reported as a spin-off, but in fact the film's working title during development. Stallone further stated that production was set to commence in October of that year. According to Dolph Lundgren, the film had a budget of $100 million. 8. Writing in July 2018, Gregory Poirier announced his role as screenwriter. Production was tentatively scheduled to begin by April 2019, though it wasn't until July of that year that Stallone announced that he was continuing to work on the script for the project. The script was completed later that year, though negotiations with producers were ongoing. In August 2021, it was announced that Spencer Cohen wrote the most recent draft of the script with Max Adams from A Story by Cohen. Casting. Over the years, multiple actors reported interest or claimed they were approached to star in a fourth installment. In March 2014, Pierce Brosnan stated that he had agreed with producer Avi Lerner to star in a fourth installment. By April of the same year, Sylvester Stallone revealed his first choice for the villain was Jack Nicholson, while mentioning his interest in convincing Clint Eastwood to join the production. According to Jackie Chan, he was approached to star in the film by Stallone, but was unsure about having limited screen time in an ensemble film, which is why he had turned down roles in the previous two entries. Dwayne Johnson publicly expressed interest to play a villainous character in a new installment during a 2014 Q&A and reiterated his interest to join the series in 2022. In May 2015, Hulk Hogan claimed that he was in talks with Stallone to play the film's main villain. In June 2020, Jean-Claude Van Damme expressed interest in returning to the franchise, publicly pitching his idea of playing Claude Villain, the brother to his villain character, John Villan, from The Expendables 2. Despite discontent with how his character was handled in The Expendables 3, Arnold Schwarzenegger proclaimed he was interested in returning to the series if he liked the script. However, On May 29, 2023, Schwarzenegger confirmed that he would not be returning to the franchise, citing a general disinterest. While he was not included in the fourth movie, Kellen Lutz proclaimed interest to return in a fifth installment in an Instagram post. On the other hand, Terry Crews, who had starred in all previous films, refused to appear in any new entries after claiming he was sexually assaulted by Stallone's agent, Adam Venit, alleging he was pressured by producer Avi Lerner to drop the case if he wanted to stay in the series. However, none of the actors mentioned above were subsequently cast, and the cast was announced to include returning stars Sylvester Stallone, Jason Statham, Randy Couture, and Dolph Lundgren, while new cast members were revealed to be Eddie Hall, Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, Megan Fox, Tony Jaa, Andy Garcia, Sheila Shaw, Jacob Scipio, and Levi Tran, with Iko Uwais playing the villain. Filming in August 2021, it was stated that principal photography would begin in October. Filming officially commenced on September 29, 2021. In October 2021, Stallone announced on social media that he had finished filming his scenes for the movie. The film was shot in London and Bulgaria, and the Jackie Chan stunt team handled stunt choreography. In November 2021, production was shot in Greece, including the city of Thessaloniki. Members of the Greek armed forces were used as extras and alleged they were not compensated for their month-long official deployment, despite working overtime. On December 3, 2021, Tony Jaa confirmed filming had wrapped. Post-production. The film title had been retitled Expendables by June 2023, a name that was widely ridiculed by commentators. When asked why they chose this title, producer Les Weldon stated that it had always been the filmmaker's desire while retaining the Expendables brand identity. Music. On April 26, 2023, Guillaume Roussel announced that he would be composing the film's score, replacing Brian Tyler from the previous 3 installments. Theatrical Expendables was released in mainland China on September 15, 2023, and was theatrically released by Lionsgate Films on September 22, 2023. The film was originally scheduled to be released in 2022. Home media. Expendables was released for digital platforms on October 13, 2023, followed by a DVD, Blu-ray, and Ultra HD Blu-ray release on November 21, 2023. Marketing. In April 2022, the first standee posters for the film were unveiled at CinemaCon 58. The first teaser trailer footage was released exclusively to the attendees at Lionsgate's presentation at the convention. On June 6, 2023, the first poster for the film was released, with the first trailer releasing a day later. A second trailer advertising the film's R rating was released August 23, 2023. Reception. Box office. As of November 5, 2023, Expendables has grossed $16.7 million in the United States and Canada, and $34.3 million in other territories, for a worldwide total of $51 million. In the United States and Canada, Expendables was initially projected to gross $17 million from 3,518 theaters in its opening weekend. After making $3.1 million on its first day, including $750,000 from Thursday night previews, estimates were lowered, and it went on debut to $8 million, finishing second behind Holdover: The Nun 2. The film fell 69% to $2.5 million in its second weekend, finishing in 9th place. Filming in August 2021, it was stated that principal photography would begin in October. Filming officially commenced on September 29, 2021. In October 2021, Stallone announced on social media that he had finished filming his scenes for the movie. The film was shot in London and Bulgaria, and the Jackie Chan stunt team handled stunt choreography. In November 2021, production was shot in Greece, including the city of Thessaloniki. Members of the Greek armed forces were used as extras and alleged they were not compensated for their month-long official deployment, despite working overtime. On December 3, 2021, Tony Jaa confirmed filming had wrapped. Post-production. The film title had been retitled Expendables by June 2023, a name that was widely ridiculed by commentators. When asked why they chose this title, producer Les Weldon stated that it had always been the filmmaker's desire while retaining the Expendables brand identity. Music. On April 26, 2023, Guillaume Roussel announced that he would be composing the film's score, replacing Brian Tyler from the previous 3 installments. Theatrical Expendables was released in mainland China on September 15, 2023, and was theatrically released by Lionsgate Films on September 22, 2023. The film was originally scheduled to be released in 2022. Home media Expendables was released for digital platforms on October 13, 2023, followed by a DVD, Blu-ray, and Ultra HD Blu-ray release on November 21, 2023. Marketing. In April 2022, the first standee posters for the film were unveiled at CinemaCon 58. The first teaser trailer footage was released exclusively to the attendees at Lionsgate's presentation at the convention. On June 6, 2023, the first poster for the film was released, with the first trailer releasing a day later. A second trailer advertising the film's R rating was released August 23, 2023. Reception box office. As of November 5, 2023, Expendables has grossed $16.7 million in the United States and Canada, and $34.3 million in other territories, for a worldwide total of $51 million. In the United States and Canada, Expendables was initially projected to gross $17 million from 3,518 theaters in its opening weekend. After making $3.1 million on its first day, including $750,000 from Thursday night previews, estimates were lowered, and it went on debut to $8 million, finishing second behind Holdover: The Nun 2. The film fell 69% to $2.5 million in its second weekend, finishing in 9th place. Critical response. On the review aggregator website Rotten Tomatoes, 14% of 125 critics' reviews are positive, with an average rating of 3.4/10. The website's consensus reads, "Solid work from Jason Statham and some halfway decent set pieces aren't enough to make up for Expendables' lackluster action and cheap-looking effects." Metacritic, which uses a weighted average, assigned the film a score of 30 out of 100, based on 33 critics, indicating generally unfavorable reviews. Audiences surveyed by CinemaScore gave the film an average grade of B on an A+ to F scale, the lowest of the series, while those polled at PostTrack gave it a 64% overall positive score. Owen Gleiberman, writing for Variety, said, "This is true 21st century trash, a movie in which the action itself is expendable." 69. Referencing the poor CGI effects, Collider wrote that Expendables was often resembling more of a mobile game than a movie. Several reviewers compared it to Hidden Strike, another film by Wah with similarly bad CGI. Simon Thompson of IGN voiced similar complaints, stating, "The special effects look either unfinished or just so bad that it's sad, like they were ripped from the graphics package of a mid to low budget video game from the early 2000s. The acting, plot, dialogue, and violence were criticized by various reviewers. Thompson called the clunky and uninspired dialogue awful, concluding that the film was overall a crushing disappointment that lacks any of the nostalgia, charisma, and charm that made the franchise appealing. Todd McCarthy of Deadline criticized that the movie was lazily executed, feeling that especially the final battle was an exact copy of Meg 2, another 2023 action film starring Statham. Furthermore, multiple reviews criticized the overall weak cast in comparison to its predecessors, with many noting that the movie hardly retains the franchise's original selling point of featuring an all-star cast of action legends. A review in Paste noted that Statham opts to accept a promotion to series lead, but added, "Refashioning the Expendables into a Statham star vehicle only highlights the wrong kind of expendability from many of his longtime co-stars. Why can't we just watch our man kick ass on his own or in various duos?" An otherwise negative review at /Film conceded, however, that the film might be the best of the franchise, 76, while a review from Digital Spy stated, "While the sense of cheesy throwback fun is restored in both the gleefully violent action and the script, it's absolutely not enough to save a movie that is 2/3 boring, but it does at least elevate the Expendables 4 above the irredeemable third movie. You'll be left on such an adrenaline high that you wouldn't be surprised if, like the aforementioned STI, the Expendables will be back for another round." The Expendables had a simple enough concept: gather a bunch of 80s-era action cinema icons, including Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Bruce Willis, Dolph Lundgren, and Mickey Rourke, and bring them together for an old-school-style shoot-'em-up, in which they, along with such current familiar faces and pecs as Jason Statham, Jet Li, Randy Couture, and Steve Austin, joined forces to blow things up real good. The film was no masterpiece, but the aggressively retro approach. It felt like exactly the kind of thing that the late-great Cannon films might have conjured up if they were still in business. Had a certain lunk-headed charm, and it wound up being a surprise hit. 2 sequels followed in 2012 and 2014, and while neither one lived up to the exceedingly mild promise of their predecessor, they served their purpose as B-movie fodder and a way for veteran action stars, including Harrison Ford, Chuck Norris, Wesley Snipes, Jean-Claude Van Damme, Antonio Banderas, and inexplicably Kelsey Grammer, to kill a couple of adequately paid weeks reliving the good old days. Sort of the genre equivalent of a Hall of Fame game. That said, it has been nearly a decade since the poorly received third film was released, and despite no discernible outcry for its return, the franchise has been revived with Expendables. Okay, perhaps revived is not quite the right word to describe this laughably lazy exercise in utility-grade meat and potatoes filmmaking. It's the kind of concussive contrivance that, to judge by the closing credits, seems to have more co-producers than actors with speaking roles, and where the countless shootings, stabbing, and punches on display are nowhere near as excruciating as the listlessness with which they have been presented here. This time around, veteran Expendables Barney, Stallone, Christmas, Statham, Gunner, Lundgren, and Toll Couture are joined here by new recruits Easy Day, Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, and Gallon, Jacob Scipio, who is supposed to be the son of the Banderas character, for a brand new top-secret mission supervised by the shadowy CIA agent Marsh, Andy Garcia. Arms dealer Rama Iko Weiss and his army of goons have broken into one of Gaddafi's old chemical plants in Libya and stolen a bunch of nuclear detonators for Ocelot, a mystery figure who decimated another squad of Barneys years earlier. Alas, spoiler alert barely, the mission goes sideways for Barney. When Christmas deviates from the plan in an effort to save him, he winds up getting booted from the group entirely. However, there is still a loose Ocelot out there, and when it appears that they are hoping to instigate WW3 between the US and Russia, the Expendables once again go off to save the day, this time with Marsh along for the ride and with the leadership of the group taken by Gina, Megan Fox, who also happens to be the on-off girlfriend of Christmas to boot. Of course, Christmas won't take no for an answer, and accompanied by another old friend of Barney's, Decha, Tony Jaa, also sets off in pursuit. Eventually, they all wind up on a massive shipping vessel containing the set-to-explode bomb and battle waves of anonymous bad guys as they try to save the world in the ta-da nick of time. My problem with Expendables is not that it is a boneheaded action film. It has been made with such obvious indifference from all involved that you can practically feel their contempt in every scene. The screenplay by Kurt Wimmer, Max Adams, and Tad Daggerhart conjures up the kind of slapdash narrative one rarely encounters outside Mad Libs. Director Scott Waugh proves to be equally lackadaisical in his duties. The big action beats are staged in a startlingly flat manner that's further dulled by some of the chintziest CGI I have seen in a major movie in a while. There are many points where Expendables feels less like a legitimate continuation to a franchise that has been quite profitable to many involved, and more like a cheapo television pilot that was mercifully scuttled before it could air. The film's biggest, most inexplicable flaw is that it takes the irresistible hook that has driven the franchise to date, the chance to see past action icons strutting their stuff once again, and bizarrely elects to dispose of it here. At least in those earlier movies, there was a certain degree of frisson, as it were, at the sight of seeing the likes of Stallone, Schwarzenegger, and Willis together the first time, at least outside of a Planet Hollywood stockholders meeting. And the first 2 sequels managed to keep that up as it brought new old faces into the fold. Here, with fewer returning cast members than before, and with Stallone himself barely in it, The balance shifts heavily towards the newer editions and, except for martial arts faves Ja and Uwais, who contribute the only real thrills during the brief moments when they show their stuff, none of them are exactly action icons, and a couple of them stretch the definition of star to the breaking point. The most ridiculous of the bunch by far is Fox, who seems to be there to serve as a reminder of that once-promised all-female Expendables spin-off, and to show us that she can do anything that her male co-stars can. In this case, however, anything seems limited to delivering every line in a monotone and looking made up to such a degree that she might have shot this between setups for this year's Sports Illustrated photo shoot. Expendables is just an embarrassment from start to finish, and the only positive thing to say about it is that it should pretty much put a nail in the coffin of a series that has clearly overstayed its welcome. At least for another decade. Distributed by Lionsgate, release dates September 15, 2023, China. September 22, 2023, United States, running time 142 minutes, country United States, language English, budget $100 million, box office, 230.8 million. So guys, this is their view of the Expendables 4 movie, and some 23 information about it. How do you like our today's video? Please let us know by commenting, and if you like this video, please like it, share it, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.